Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we will begin the first part of the Django and Stripe application project. So before we actually start coding, let's take a look at what we are going to create. Over here, I have my cart with 0 items and $0, and below we see some courses. A course for Django, course for JavaScript, and a course for React. So what we can do is to simply add some courses to cart. For example, I'm going to choose the quantity of 2. So one course will be for me and the other one will be for a friend of mine. So I'm going to add to cart. Okay, we have a confirmation that the cart has been updated, and let's add 2 for JavaScript. Okay, and now we see $40 for items in cart. We can update those quantities over here as well. And then if we remove, if the quantity will be 0, the item will be automatically removed. So let's go back and maybe let's add one item of React. Let's add to cart and we can proceed to checkout. Okay, and here we have the summary, and if we enter the payment details, we will be able to pay for those courses. All right. So right now I'm going to cancel this, and yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so before we get started, let's take a look at, as usual, what have I done so far. So basically I started a brand new project called Stripe Proj, and currently I'm in the settings py file of this directory. So if we scroll down to the installed apps list, we will notice that the cards and products applications has been started and have been added to this installed apps list. So we will work on those applications starting with the models py file in a few seconds. And then if we scroll down to the template section over here, I just added a configuration telling Django where to look for additional templates. And over here we are going to keep our base HTML. So this is the template that simply other templates will inherit from. Okay, and I didn't do any other configuration regarding static and media files. We will do this a little bit later. For now, let's focus on coding and let's jump into the products. So over here, what I'm going to do is to open the models py file, and we will begin by creating the class of the product. So let's write class product. Let's open up the parentheses and let's inherit from models.model, and let's define some fields. So first of all, we'll need the name of the product, and this is going to be a models char field with the max length of 200. Then we will have the description, or I'm going to skip the description, but you can go ahead and put it in if you want. So this could be, for example, a models text field. I'm just going to skip it as mentioned before, and I'm going to focus on the next field, which will be the price, and this is going to be a models float field, where I'm going to pass null is equal to true, and why I'm going to explain a little bit later. Then we will have the active, and this is going to be a models boolean. And here I'm going to also set null is equal to true. And let's also add an image. So this is going to be a models image field, and we will need to install Pillow for this to work. So let's put in null is equal to true. And we can also add a created. So this is going to be a models date time field with auto now add is equal to true. All right, so the one thing missing over here is the string representation method. And let's refer to the name over here. So we are going to return str self name. And let's go ahead and save this models py file of our products directory. And let's jump into the admin so we can actually register the product. And by the way, I already created a super user so that I can log into the Django administration. I'm actually logged into the Django administration, so Now, if we register this product and run the migrations, we will see the product section over here. Okay, so first of all, let's go to the admin PY. Let's import our product from .models. We want to import product and let's register it below. So admin site register, and we need to pass in the product. All right, so this is it for the products, and we can now focus on the cards. So again, we need to go to the models PY file, and over here we will have a little bit more complicated situation because we will begin with a class that we are going to name card abstract. And this card abstract will inherit from models.model. But then we will have a class called card item, and this class won't inherit from models.model, it will inherit from card abstract. And the same will be for class. And then card, here we will also pass the card abstract. So we are inheriting from card abstract. So in the card abstract, we are going to define some fields which we are going to use both in card item and card, and we are going to set it as abstract equal to true, and this way we are going to create the tables for the children. Okay, so we won't create the tables for card abstract, but we are going to create those fields in a table for the classes that inherit from card abstract. So we will take a look at how this looks a little bit later. For now, let's start by defining the fields that are going to be used both in card item and in the card class. So we will have the user, and this is going to be a models foreign key to the user. So we need to import the user model from Django contrib auth models. We want to import the user. Okay, so let's pass in the user, and let's specify onDelete is equal to models cascade. So this is the first field. Then let's say that we want the created like this. And this is going to be a models date time field with auto now add is equal to true. And let's also add an updated. And this is going to be a models, and let's put in date time field auto now is equal to true. So those three fields will be now shared with the card item and the card, because those classes, card item and card, are inheriting from card abstract. And now, in order not to create a separate table for card abstract, we need to write class meta and set abstract equal to true. Okay, so right now we are sharing those fields across card item and card. However, we are not creating any fields for card abstract. All right, so let's start working on the card item, and let's remember that we have already three fields defined. So the fourth one is going to be the product, and this is going to be a models foreign key to the product. And the fifth one is going to be the quantity, and this is going to be a models positive integer field, and let's set the default to 0. Okay, so yeah, we can now actually provide the string representation method for the card item. So what I'm going to do is first import the product from products.models. We want to import product, and then let's pass in the product over here. Let's specify onDelete is equal to models cascade, and let's say that the string representation method should refer, let's do an f string over here. So what I'm going to do is to write return f, and then let's refer to the product but not the product itself, the product name. So we need to write self product and access the name field. Okay, so this is the first step, and then let's put in also the quantity. So here we just need to write self and then refer to this quantity field. All right, so we have the cart item ready, and we can now focus on the cart itself. So the cart will consist of cart items. So we can write items, and this is going to be a models many-to-many field, and we need to pass in cart item. Okay, so as the next step, let's define the total items. So this is going to be the count of the items, and this is going to be a models, again, positive integer field. And let's set the default here as 0. And also let's have the total price, and this is going to be a models float field, and let's specify the default over here as 0, 0. Okay, so we need to create a string representation method for the cart as well, and then we will have to register those classes in the admin. So let's return over here an f string as well, and let's refer to the user, okay, because as a reminder, we are inheriting from cart abstract, so we have the user field as well, and we can simply write self user username, and then we can provide the ID of the cart, and here we can refer to the ID of the object, of the particular object, okay? So self ID. And yeah, I think we are done. We can go ahead and save this, and we can go to the admin py file. Over here, we need to register those two classes. So we are not registering the cart abstract. We are focusing on the cart item and cart. So let's import those two classes from .models. We want to import cart item and cart. And now we can write admin site register cart item, and below admin site register cart, like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this, and let's jump into the terminal. So over here we have an error, and we have a hint over here because pillow is not installed, and this is related to the image field. So what I'm going to do is to quit the development server from running, and we are going to run the migration. So first of all, Python manage py make migrations. And okay, maybe we should begin with pillow. So pip install pillow, and then we will do the migrations. Python manage py make migrations, and Python manage py migrate. Okay, and Python manage py run server to run the development server. And let's hit refresh, and over here we have carts and products. Okay, so as the next step, let's return to the terminal. Let's quit the development server from running again, and let's install Stripe and python.nv. Okay, let's press enter, and let's wait a few seconds. Okay, we can now run Python manage py run server again, and we will actually create a .nv file over here, and we will keep our Stripe public key and secret key over here. But before we actually fill it out, we need to set up a Stripe account. So this is what we are going to do next. All right, guys, so I'm at stripe.com. I'm going to press sign in, And I have an account already, but if you don't have the account, this is the place where you need to press. So don't have an account yet. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Sign up, okay? And just fill out those details and we will see each other in a few seconds or minutes. All right, guys, so I'm already signed in, and as the next step, let's verify the email. So we need to check our email accounts for a link from Stripe. So let's do that right now. All right, guys, so my account has been verified. Next, we have an opportunity to add business details, but for now, I'm going to skip this part and I'm going to create a new business, new account name, and I'm going to call it Courses Online, something like this. And right now, as the next step, I'm going to go to products and I'm going to add a new product, okay? So let me make this maybe a little bit bigger. And just I want to mention that I have 3 images prepared. So I have an image for JavaScript course, for Django, and React. Okay, so we will begin with maybe Django. And I'm going to upload the image over here. So let's do this very quickly, Django. And here I can add some description. So let's just put in Django course, complete tutorial, maybe something like this. And over here below, we can set up the pricing. So this is going to be one-time payment in US dollars. And let's say that it will cost $12. And I'm going to save the product. And as the next step, I'm going to simply add a new product. So let's do this one more time. So products, add product. And over here, let's add React this time. React course as the description. Let's upload an image. Let's set the currency as US dollars and let's put in $15 maybe this time. And let's also set it as one-time payment. And I'm going to save and add more. And we also have JavaScript course. So JavaScript, and the description will be JavaScript tutorial. Let's upload an image. Let's change the currency to US dollars and let's say it will be $9.99. Okay, and one time, and let's go ahead and save the product. Okay, so as the next step, we need to go to developers and we need to open up the API keys. And over here we have our publishable key and below we have our secret key. So right now, those keys need to be placed in our .env file. So I'm going to put in Stripe and then public key is equal to, and then I'm going to copy the public key and place it over here. All right. And I'm going to do the same for the secret key. So Stripe and then secret key. And here I'm going to put in my secret key. But of course, this is going to be the secret key after pressing this reveal test key. Okay, so I'm not going to do it while recording, but this is what you should do. And you should, of course, copy this and put it over here. Let's also maybe set the URL. And this is going to be our development server. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, we could, of course, also go to the settings PY file and we could place this secret key also in the .env. but let's just skip it for now. And yeah, let's go ahead and save this. And right now we can actually go to our products and open up the views.py file. But before we actually start working on the views, let's take a look at the documentation. Alright guys, so I'm at the Stripe documentation regarding listing all the products, and over here we can choose Python, and this is basically how we can retrieve the products, okay? So we need to import Stripe, we need to provide the Stripe API key, and we need to write stripe.product_list, and over here we are passing the limit is equal to 3, so we are limiting 3 items. So the product list to 3 items. However, we only have 3 courses, so we basically have 3 items, and we can go ahead and simply skip this. We don't need it. And then we have a response. So what do we have over here? We have the product ID, we have the created, description, images, we have the name, but as you can see, there is no price. So I also opened a page, a documentation page regarding listing all the prices, and again we can choose Python, and we need to again import Stripe, provide the Stripe API key, and then Stripe price list and limit 3. So instead of product over here we just need to place price. And what do we have over here? We have the price ID, we have the created, we have the currency, and over here we have the product, but not the product name, the product ID. Okay, so what we can do is to simply create a variable which will store all the prices, a variable which will store all the products, and we can match them by the product. So over here we'll need this part, and in the list all products we are going to need this part. Okay, so both are related to the product ID. Okay, so over here this is called ID for the product, and over here it will be called product itself. This is the product ID. Okay, so let's begin from the imports. So I'm going to import Stripe and OS. And then from .nv, I'm going to import load.nv, and I'm going to call load.nv, and this way we will be able to read our Stripe secret key and set it as Stripe API key. So we can now write OS environ, and we can set, not set, but provide the name that we have put in our .nv file. So it was Stripe secret key. Okay, so right now we have set the Stripe secret key to be equal the one that we've put into our .nv file. And as the next step, we can get the products, and this is going to be Stripe product list and prices, and this is going to be Stripe price list. Okay, so we are getting all the products and all the prices, and right now having those products and prices, we can basically synchronize the data that we have in our Stripe account with the ones that we have in the models PY of our products. So we can synchronize the data in our Stripe account with the database. Okay, so in order to do this, we can create a separate view, and whenever we will access this view, our data will get synchronized. So in order to do this, I'm going to create a view that I'm going to call sync products view, and this will take in a request. And here the first thing we can do is to, for example, print out the products, and let's do the products data. Okay, because over here, this is what is interesting for us: data, whatever we have in this array of objects. Okay, and the same is for the prices. We are interested in the data, so print products data and print prices data. And let's also return something, and let it be a HTTP response. And okay, we have it over here. It's imported automatically, and I'm just going to put in data. So now I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to bring this sync products view into the Stripe proj URL. So I'm going to put it directly into the main URLs py file just for now, okay, just to see if this is working. So over here, let's go to products.views, and we want to import product sync products view. Okay, there it is, and let's set it just for now as the main path, sync products view. Okay, let's save this. Let's hit refresh over here. We have data, and here we have it. Okay, so here is the ID of the product, here is the image, and here we have the image again, the description, and here I made a typo, React Courser, it should be course, sorry about this, guys. Here we have the JavaScript tutorial, and then we should have Django. Okay, here is Django course in the description, and these were products, and now we have prices. So here is the price ID, the currency. We also have unit amount and unit amount decimal. And over here, please note that, let me make this maybe a little bit bigger, that 999 is in fact 999. So we have 999, but the price wasn't set to 999. It was set to 999. Okay, and then we have the unit amount for the next item, and this is $1,500, but in fact it's $15. So this is something we need to keep in mind. And here we have $1,200, but in fact this is $12. Okay, so we don't know if those prices are referring to, for example, this particular price, is it referring to the Django course, React course, or JavaScript course? Okay, so let's actually continue working on our sync products view, because right now, having those data, we will fill out our models where we will have precisely what we need. We will have the name, price, image, optionally description, optionally active, and let's see how we can do this. So I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to loop through the product's data. So I'm going to set a name prod. So for prod in products data. And over here, as the next step, I'm going to set a variable price, and this is going to be a list comprehension. So I'm going to loop through with the use of list comprehension through the prices data this time, and I'm going to check if the X product is equal to the product ID. So what happened over here? We are looping through the products data, so let's take a look at the products data. Okay, and so here we have it, and we are checking if the prod ID, so if this matches, what do we have over here? So here we are looping through the prices data, and we are referring to X product. So if we go to prices, the product is over here. So we are checking if this and this matches. Okay, and the result will be a list. So if we do it like this, it should be an object. Okay, so here we should have a price object. And as the next step, let's set the actual price. Or we can actually, you guys, print out this price just to see if everything is okay. I'm going to save this and then I'm going to hit refresh. And as you can see, we have the prices. Okay, so now we need to pick up the unit amount or unit amount decimal and simply prepare this in the right way. Okay, because as mentioned before, the price isn't 999, it's 9.99. Okay, so we need to simply divide it by 100 and set the formatting in a correct way. So let's do this. Let's grab price is equal to, and then I'm going to format it as float, and I'm going to refer to the price, and as mentioned, not price like this, but price, so we are referring to this. And as mentioned before, let's get the unit amount. Okay, unit amount, and then let's divide this by 100. Okay, so let's do it like this. And hopefully this will give us the actual price. And in order to do this, we can simply check it with print. So we are going to print the price. Let's hit refresh. Okay. And there it is, 9.99, 15, and 12. All right. So having this, we can actually try to get the product object. So we can create it or update it. So obj and then create it. We don't need the created, so I'm going to set it as underscore is equal to product. Do we have product imported? No, we don't. So let's go to from.models. We want to import product. And this is going to be equal product objects get or create. And we are going to set the name equal to prod name. Okay. So we are checking if we have a product with a particular name. And then if we have it, we are going to do an update. If we don't have it, we are going to simply create it. And then let's set the price, obj price is equal to price. Okay, so we are referring to the models.py file. We have a particular object with the fields, and now we are updating those fields. So obj price, we are setting as the price that we have over here. And then obj active is going to be equal prod active, and then obj image is going to be equal prod and then images. And if we take a look at the data, we need to go to products. Images is an array. Okay, so this is why I wrote it like this, prod images, and this should basically do the trick. And this way we are taking the link out of the array. However, the problem is a little bit different right now because I think I went a little bit too fast. And yeah, I set the image field instead of the URL field. Okay, so this is my mistake again. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to quit the development server, Python manage py make migrations, Python manage py migrate, and Python manage py run server. Okay, so let's go back to the views py, and now this shouldn't cause any issues. And finally, we are going to save the objects. And this is why I've set price active image to null. So we are grabbing first by the name, and if the product object with a particular name doesn't exist, we are creating it with a particular name, and then we are assigning the price active and image, and then we are saving it. Okay, and finally, let's just, okay, for now, the HTTP response data is accurate, it's okay. Let's just see if this will work or not. I'm going to hit save, and then over here, let's hit refresh. And if we go to products, we have Django. And yeah, you are able to download the image right now. And so the Django course costs in this case $12, okay? And then we have React, and React is for $15. And we have JavaScript for $9.99, okay? And if we save this link, we will see that this is in fact a JS thumbnail. So this is basically working. And I think this is not a bad place to finish part number 1. And we will of course continue in part number 2. I will publish it as soon as possible. If you guys want this tutorial to be treated as a priority, please let me know, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will try to do my best and publish all the parts as soon as possible. In the meantime, of course, I'm going to publish the third part of the Django and Django REST framework with React.js series, and maybe something extra will appear on the channel for absolute beginners. So hope to see you guys soon. Have a great day, and bye-bye.